Hey, ladies and gents, my name's Pip Wilkins. I'm the CEO of the British Franchise Association, and I'm absolutely delighted and super excited to be joined by Harpreet, who many of you will know as the latest winner of The Apprentice. Harpreet, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Pip. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to our chat.
So what we all really want to know is how your life has changed since you were crowned the winner. And most importantly, what did you do to celebrate?
Life has been really full on in the past few weeks since winning. I think obviously with juggling the business, I've got this huge opportunity now to grow it, and that takes a lot of time, and thought going into it. So juggling that with all of the media attention and all of the interviews, it's really, really full on. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm so excited to take the business to the next level. And to celebrate, I actually had a really cool viewing party, and a lot of people saw that on Instagram, and because I went live with it, and celebrated with all my family and friends on the night. I've had a few nice meals and things out since. I would really like a holiday, but it's probably not going to happen for a little while.
Not just yet. So
No.
Talk us a bit about your experience on the show. What were your sort of favourite bits, and what were the bits that you found the most challenging?
My favourite part, this is going to sound a little crazy because everybody usually dreads the interviews where you get quizzed on your business plan, but I actually really genuinely enjoyed that. It was finally my opportunity to show Lord Sugar and his advisors exactly what I was there for. You know, we've got all the tasks out of the way, and now I can show you what I'm really about. And what I didn't enjoy as much, it was probably just genuinely just the exhaustion and the detachment from the real world. What people don't realize is you don't have access to the resources that you would have in normal life. You know, usually we're on Google every 5 minutes, or we're on the phone, or, there's a whole world of resources out there to help you make decisions, because we can't be experts in every field. But you don't have access to that in The Apprentice. So you really do have to just use your initiative, which is fine, but it's a lot of pressure. So it was very mentally exhausting.
And was there anything in particular that you really learned from yourself whilst you were going through the process on the show? And did any of your kind of goals change in terms of what you were hoping to get out of it at the end?
I love the question about did any of my goals change, because yes, they have. Because the biggest thing that I found through going on The Apprentice was I've really grown in confidence. I mean, I'm a confident person anyway, but when you are running a business, I've been running my dessert parlours for 6 years now. There's no way to kind of sense check your abilities or what you're really capable of. And there's no one there that gives you that pat on the back. Not that you need it, but you don't actually know how well you can do because you're just on it alone. So The Apprentice has given me a lot of confidence, because I now know that I can lead well, and that I can negotiate well, and that I can probably bring any project to success. So it's given me that real kind of kick that, you know what, I am capable of great things, I'm capable of big things, and I just need to go for it. So my goals have changed, because going into The Apprentice, I thought I could do X, but now I know I can do X, Y, and Z, and I'm capable of even more. So I'm really excited to just go even bigger with my goals.
Yeah, it was one of the things I wanted to ask, actually. So we obviously got to try the sweet treats on the show. Some of my team have organised them in. You've got like a 5-year-old critic in my COO's daughter who is like tried them and loves them. But for me, was there anything now that you look at and you think, I know that I can do this? What other interests and passions have you got that you think maybe in the future you might look at pursuing as a business idea?
Oh, I've not been asked that one before.
Wanted to be a bit different, we did.
Oh, I like it. That's a really tricky one, because I mean, for me, desserts hasn't been something that I've done forever. So I was actually in retail banking before I set up my dessert business, and I've never really kind of woke up and had this major passion since being young to pursue something in particular. A lot of people want to be a doctor or a lawyer or have a particular interest in fitness. For me, I was a little bit lost, and I love trying new things. One thing I know for sure is I absolutely love having my own business and being able to take it to limitless opportunities. I think for now, I'm being genuine, for the past 6 years and probably for the next 6, I don't think there's anything else I'll ever think about other than desserts, because there's so much more that I can do with the brand, and I'm so excited at all the avenues that I could possibly explore. For example, franchising being one of them. And just going back to your previous question, actually, when you said, have my goals changed? I remember actually meeting you at my final pitch, and you know, you spoke from a franchising perspective, and I remember in that moment genuinely thinking, do you know what? I think I could do franchising a lot quicker than I pitched in my original business plan. So I'd already grown in confidence by then. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think on that one and park that question, because at the moment all I can think about are cookies and brownies and chocolate chips.
That's brilliant. We love the cookies and the brownies and the chocolate chips. So absolutely looking to seeing what you do more and more with that. So in terms of the expansion plans, you've just touched on franchising there, and I know that you're already looking at some advice. Is franchising the kind of route that you've set on that you really want to go down?
So I think franchising is definitely an option. I know there's so many successful food businesses and other businesses in various industries that have followed the franchising model and seen absolutely fantastic results. And I know, especially in the dessert industry, there are a lot of like people going down that route, because it's a win-win. You know, the franchisor makes good money and so does the franchisee. So it's a really good proposition. And it's definitely something I never actually thought 3-4 years ago would be possible for someone like myself, simply because I just didn't think that maybe we'd be good enough or that I'd be where I am today. But having spoken with like people like yourself, I know that it is a genuine possibility and all the benefits that go with it. So it's definitely something that, you know, I'm having those conversations around with yourself and with other kind of industry experts. And I think it's something that I'm definitely speaking to Lord Sugar about.
Fantastic. So talking about Lord Sugar, we've touched on him, so I'll dive in with a question. What's been your experience of working with him so far?
I found Lord Sugar actually like really great to work with so far. So obviously there's Lord Sugar and there's his team as well that's available for support. I had a couple of meetings yesterday and I've genuinely found it like really helpful, supportive, and being able to access resources and tools that I probably just didn't have the access to before, but from a different perspective, you know, from someone like Lord Sugar, who has set up and invested in multiple businesses. So they've got that wider perspective, I guess, on what could work and what wouldn't. So yeah, he's exactly the same as what you see on television, you know, very direct, but I absolutely love that. I'm a direct person myself, so our styles work with each other.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. He seemed really nice. And we had Tim Campbell speak at our conference. After I came to the final with you, he came and spoke at our annual conference, and he seems like a really great guy as well. So yeah, really impressive team that you've got to work with.
Tim's absolutely lovely, and he's been really supportive during the process and since then as well, which was really nice because he's been in our position. He was on season 1 and in my position as the winner of the show. And actually, after we were doing after I did my final pitch, Pip, and you were there, it was also Tim that encouraged me to reach out to yourself and pursue the franchising conversations. So I think he also is a big believer in this route as well.
Yeah, well, we were really pleased to have you at Empowering Women in Business last year, and it was so impressive to see the kind of all-female final. How do you feel about kind of being an inspiration for females and entrepreneurship in business?
It's something I'm getting used to. I think for me, I never even kind of thought about that side of things when going into the process, because for me, I'm always 100% authentically myself. Like, I always try and go into situations where just be myself, because then you're not masking anything. You know, Lord Sugar could see the true me. And I almost forgot that this show was going to be shown to millions of viewers. I kind of forgot about that element. So I'm getting messages all the time from, like, in fact, I've got a card just here from 2 high school kids that have reached out and said that I've inspired them to set up a business. I find it so touching, so humbling. And I'm actually just really grateful that I can be that role model, because I remember struggling when I was younger, not really knowing what route to go down and not I had different role models, but I just didn't have that one strong character that I thought, wow, okay, I want to be like them. So if I can inspire anyone just to reach their goals, whatever that might be, I absolutely love that, because that's what success means: being happy, being content, and just achieving your goals, whatever they might be, whether they're in business or not. So it's really nice that people see me as a role model, and I'm going to definitely take that into consideration going forward and keep spreading that message out there.
Fab. I also am loving your style. I think it's amazing, some of the suits that you've been wearing. You've been kind of propelled to kind of media stardom straight away. What's the inspiration behind your kind of style? Is there somebody that you look up to that's your kind of inspiration?
Do you know, with clothes, I think I'm just so happy to get out of my trainers and my hoodie that I usually wear, out of my uniform. So I've just been really excited to play dress up. I'm going to be honest, when I style myself, when I look for clothes, I always look for something that's a decent cut, and I always look for like something bold. I like things that stand out. I don't know, it's just me. I kind of just wake up and think, you know what, I'm going to make sure I look good today. And I think when I go shopping, I always try and look for things that are going to stand the test of time and that make me feel comfortable. I think there's always new trends out there. But sometimes certain things might not suit you, or you just don't feel confident in. And I feel like when I dress, I like to power dress because it makes me feel confident and ready for the day. And I always try and do that. I always say I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed, because you just feel confident. So I'm not sure who's inspired me, actually. I'm just going to say I was born like this.
Absolutely. So do you have any advice for the next generation that are going to be going for the Apprentice next year? So if anyone's thinking of going forward for the 2023 show, is there anything that you would give them from an advice perspective? And is there anything that you would have done differently if you had your time over again?
Mm-hmm. I definitely wouldn't have done anything differently, because if I had, I might not have been sat here. I think in hindsight, there's always things we can improve on. And watching myself back on the show, no one's perfect, and there's always things that we can work on. But I do think if I'd done anything differently, I wouldn't have won the show. And I think the reason for that is, and the top tip that I can give is 100% just be yourself. No one is perfect. Lord Sugar has invested in people with all kinds of different personalities, management styles, business ideas. I actually wasn't initially sure whether to apply for the show or not, because I have a dessert business. I didn't feel it was a revolutionary idea at the time, even though I've got plenty of USPs that I'm working on now. But I just thought, he's invested in food businesses before. What's so different about me? But I didn't allow that to hold me back. I just thought, you know what? I feel I am investable. I have a good idea, and I have great ideas on how to stand out. So I just went for it regardless. But with my personality, I didn't try to fit into anyone's shoes or fit a certain style, because I think it would just come out in the end anyway. The process is so tough that your real true character and your most stressed character does come out. So be 100% yourself. And number 2 is, if you have a business idea, start making those moves now. Don't just wait to present the idea to Lord Sugar. If you're passionate enough about it, start doing it now. Invest a small amount yourself, use your savings, and then you can prove to Lord Sugar that actually I'm going to do this business idea regardless, because I'm really passionate about it, but I would love for you to be on board. And I think you would really like that, because it just displays that you truly do believe in yourself. So I'd say, if you've got an idea or an existing business, start putting stuff in place now, so that you can display the best possible proposition to him.
That's a brilliant piece of advice. Now, I have just a couple of final questions, I promise. From your perspective, you said right at the beginning of this, you came from a career in banking, which was obviously more of a corporate 9 till 5. How did you find making the transition? Because we see it so often in franchising that people come from a corporate background, they want to follow their passion in life and do something that they really love. How did you find the transition from the kind of corporate into managing and running your own business?
So I was one of those naive people that I was in the corporate world. I had a job in banking. I was doing quite long hours. And I thought, oh, brilliant, I'll set up my own business so I can be flexible with my time and, you know, choose my hours. And of course, it's genuinely the absolute opposite of that. You know, if it's a full-time business and you're not doing it as a side hustle, it takes up every single minute of your day. And I would say it's more of a lifestyle that you have to adjust to, because you have to be switched on all the time. And your to-do list never goes away. So I think at the time, it didn't faze me, because the idea I've picked and the business that I'm doing, I genuinely enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work. I mean, most of the time. Sometimes I just want to pack it all in and, you know, jump on a plane, as we all do. But it doesn't feel like work, because I genuinely enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy seeing it grow. I love desserts. Who doesn't? So I get to taste test all the time as well. But it's really tough. And I think after a while, if you don't put certain steps in place to look after yourself or get that balance, it then causes you to burn out. And I've had that multiple times in the past. You know, I can usually deal with the stress. That's not a problem. I'm capable of going 100 miles an hour, you know, kind of known for that. But the danger is you can end up burning yourself out, because you need to allow yourself a little bit of a break. But I would say to any franchisee or to anyone out there wanting to set up their own business, you have to be prepared for the level of time that it takes. But if you pick a business that you actually really genuinely enjoy, it won't feel like work. You'll have so much fun.
I really love that answer. I was literally like, that's amazing. Okay, my last question, the future of your business then, what are you most excited about?
Oh, I'm excited for everything, literally everything. I have new products that I'm working on. We have some like different expansion like plans that we're working on how to hit more physical locations. Obviously, franchising is one of them. There's a few different routes we're exploring. And we have potentially a new store in the works currently, which hopefully I can reveal very soon. And I'm continuing to work on the nationwide delivery aspect of the business. That's something I didn't have in place before the Apprentice. And it's something I've been working really hard on, my own range of desserts that can be posted out to anyone in the UK. So before the process, I only have my 2 local dessert parlours. So if you weren't local to West Yorkshire, you probably wouldn't have been able to try my goodies. But now I have launched my service. So if you go into alsoyum.co.uk, you can choose one of my yummy desserts and it'll be delivered to you within 1 or 2 working days now. But it's still working on that model and perfecting it, because with every business, it's a work in progress. And I just want to keep getting better at that. But yeah, I want Also Yum to be the #1 dessert brand in the UK. I've got no doubt that it will be. I'm just so excited to take it to that level.
Oh, we're excited to work with you too. It's been amazing to watch your journey from obviously winning just 3 weeks ago to now. So thank you so much for your time today. And we look forward to hearing more from you as it continues to grow.
Thanks, Pip. Great to speak to you.